Hello and happy Sunday. As promised, here is our slow flow yoga practice, my gift to you for just visiting our page. No props are needed for this practice. I'm so glad that you took the time to meet me on the mat. So we'll get started. We'll start in an easy seated position. I'm going to move the remote out of the way and just start with your hands resting on your knees. Maybe close your eyes. Let's just settle into our mat. Focus on our breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Maybe now you set an intention for your practice. I invite you to join me in setting an intention of gratitude. I'm so grateful you're here today. And as you're settling in, focusing on your intention, and being mindful of your breath, get a long neutral spine. If other thoughts start to jump into your mind, you find your mind wandering, just acknowledge those thoughts and let them go. Come back to your breath, back to your intention, back to your mat. And if you did close your eyes, softly open them now. We're going to start some movement. So on an inhale, we're going to extend our arms up towards the ceiling, pressing our palms together. And as we exhale, we'll press our hands away towards the mat. Again, moving with your breath. Inhale, bringing our palms together. Exhale, pressing the air away from us. One more time. Inhale and exhale. And this time as we inhale, we'll extend our arms up. But as we exhale, we'll twist slightly to our left, placing our left hand behind us, our right hand on our knee or on our foot. Mine happens to be on my foot. We'll have a gentle twist here. We'll hold here for a few breaths. You'll feel as you inhale, your spine's getting longer. And as you exhale, you'll feel that twist deepen. Very nice. And on your next exhale, we'll meet back in the center and we'll go to the other side. So inhale up, our arms rise above us. Exhale, twist to our right. And on your next exhale, release. This time as we inhale up, we're actually going to fold forward, placing our hands to our sides and then just walking them over to be in front of us. And we'll breathe here. Now if your hands aren't reaching the floor in front of you, that's okay. This is your practice. You want to find your edge. So maybe you're just placing your hands on your knees. What's important is that you're feeling the stretch in your lower back. We've got some opening in our hamstrings and our hips. We're warming up our body. And on your next exhale, you release back to a sitting position. Now, let's switch our legs. So if you had your right leg on top, let's put it on bottom. Notice how that feels different, okay? So we're gonna inhale, extend our arms up. We're gonna twist to our left. Again, placing your left hand behind you, your right hand on your right knee. And on an exhale, we'll release. Again, extending our arms up. On an inhale and exhale, this time we'll go to our right side. And release back to center. Inhale up. And then dive forward. You can walk your fingers in front of you. Bringing your mind back to your intention. Maybe with each inhale, you think of all the things you're grateful for. And as you exhale, you just share that love, that gratefulness to the people around you. And we'll rise back up to center. Now let's transition to tabletop position. Now if you need padding for your knees, you're welcome to use a blanket or a towel. I'll use a blanket today. You're going to place your knees directly below your hips, and you're going to press your palms into your mat, spreading your fingers wide. Your hands are directly beneath your shoulders. And we're going to move through a few cat-cows, and this is new to you. I'll walk you through it. So as you inhale, you're going to move slowly and with intention, pressing your belly button towards the floor, pressing your crown of your head up towards the ceiling. Keep a soft neck and keep your ears away from your shoulders. And find the length here. As you exhale, we're going to press our belly button up towards our ceiling, tucking our chin, moving vertebrae by vertebrae. Again, move with your breath. You don't want to wrench your body. These are gentle movements. So let's flow through these cat and cow poses. Moving with your breath. Inhaling to cow. Exhaling to cat. And see if you can keep your inhales and your exhales at the same pace. So if you're inhaling, say for a count of 4, see if you can hold your exhale or for that same length. And after your last cat, we'll meet back in neutral spine. We're going to widen our knees to the width of our mat, bring our big toes together, and we're going to press back, sitting on our heels, walking our hands out in front of us, and placing our forehead on the mat into child's pose. Now here, keep your hands active, pressing into your mat. While this is a pose that is used a lot of times for rest, it also can be a very active pose. Pressing the mat away with your palms as you're sitting back on your heels, feeling that stretch, that length. We'll breathe here. Wonderful. On an inhale, we're going to rise back up, coming back to our tabletop position, placing our hands back under our shoulders. Our knees are back under our hips. And we're going to tuck our toes, pressing up into our hands, and then back into our downward facing dog. Now, if you find that your legs are not straight here, that's okay. Keep a bend in them. This is your practice. You need to listen to your body. With downward facing dog, you want to again be mindful that your ears are away from your shoulders, so you've got a long back and arms extended. Your toes are pointed towards your hands, so they're straight. And you're pressing back. Now, if you find you need some movement, you can pedal your feet here. It's a great way to continue to warm up your hamstrings. Now's a good time to shake our head yes and no, making sure we don't have any tension in our neck. And we're going to walk our feet to meet our hands at the top of the mat. And if you did use a prop, a blanket or a towel, you can move it out of your way. We won't need it for a few moments. And here, this is a forward fold. So let's just rest here for a moment. Maybe you place your hands on your opposite elbows and sway softly side to side. All right, let's find stillness. Place our hands on the floor. And with intention, we're going to slightly bend our knees and we're going to roll up vertebrae by vertebrae to standing. I want you to roll your shoulders up to your ears and then back down. Let's do that again. Rolling our shoulders up and back. All right. So on an inhale, we're going to extend our arms up, bringing our palms together. And we're going to exhale and dive forward, forward fold. On an inhale, come to halfway lift. You can place your hands on your shins, on your thighs, yogi's choice. Find what fits your body. And on an exhale, we'll fold forward. Now placing our hands on our mat, we're going to step back into plank. And for those of you who need a modification, you can actually go back to modified plank by placing your knees down. And we're going to lower all the way down to the mat. Untucking your toes, your hands are by your shoulders. Again, fingers are spread wide. You've got contact with your mat. And on an inhale, you're going to press up slightly into a baby cobra. And on an exhale, we'll lower back down. Now tucking your toes, we're going to press up into plank and then back into downward facing dog. And we'll walk our feet to meet our hands. On an inhale, we'll reverse dive back up to standing, hands extended towards the ceiling. And on an exhale, hands to heart. Let's do that again. Inhale, extend our arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold. On an inhale, halfway lift. Imagine you can set a teacup on your back here. You want to have it strong, flat back. And exhale, forward fold. Placing our hands on our mat, we'll step back into plank. And then as you exhale, lower down all the way. Untucking your toes. On an inhale, we'll press up into cobra, baby cobra. Keeping a bend in our elbows are pressed to our body. And exhale, lower back to the mat. Again, untucking our toes, pressing up into plank, pressing back into downward dog. And if you need to shorten your stance to bring your feet a little closer to you for your downward dog, please do so. And we'll hold here for 5 cycles of breath. Coming back to our breath, back to our intention. Maybe answering the question, today I'm grateful for. And as you finished your last exhale, let's again walk our feet to our hands to the front of the mat. And on an inhale, we'll halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, reverse dive up to standing, hands together above us. And exhale, hands to heart. And this time, let's make sure we've got our feet together. And as we exhale, we're going to sit back into child's pose. So imagine that you have a chair behind you that you're just dying to sit in. So you're pressing back. Your toes are rooted to the mat. They're spread wide. You're making contact with all 4 points of your feet. Your arms are extended up. Cactus arms, keeping your hands to heart. It's yogi's choice. And we'll breathe here. And on your next exhale, we'll fold forward. Maybe you need another ragdoll. Holding your elbows, swaying side to side. It's a great way to shake off any tension of the day. All right, finding stillness, placing your hands on the mat. We'll step back into plank. I'm backing up to make sure I stay in the camera. All right, and this time let's place our left knee down on our mat. Let's adjust our left arm to be directly in the center of our mat. Untucking your left toes, you're going to pivot on your right foot, extend our right arm up to the ceiling. Modified side plank. And if it's in your practice, you can gaze up to the ceiling. And if you're having trouble with stability, you can adjust the angle of that bottom foot to help find some balance. On an exhale, we'll return our right hand to the mat. We'll shift that left leg back to being in alignment and bring our left foot back to meet our right. And now we'll do the other side. So let's place our right knee down, center our right hand on the mat, Pivoting on our left foot, we'll rotate, extending our left arm to the ceiling. And we'll release back to the mat. Adjusting our feet. Let's bring our right foot back to meet our left. We'll lower all the way down to the mat. Untucking our toes. We'll press up, this time extending our arms into a full cobra. And then from here, tucking your toes, pressing up into plank, and shifting back into downward facing dog. And we'll breathe. Let's focus on our breath. Bring our awareness back to our intention. You shake your head yes and no again. Make sure you're not held any tension in your neck. Let's shift on our hands slightly forward. Let's place our knees on the mat. And we're going to come to our seated position. And I'm going to get centered on the mat so you can see me. You can sit easy seated, whatever works for you. All right, so we're going to stretch just a little bit. We're going to place our left hand on the mat. Inhale, extending our right arm. We're going to press into that left hand, extending that right side. And we'll go to the other side, placing our right hand down, inhaling, extending over to the right with our left arm. And let's flow through that. If you're new to yoga, some of the terminology can be confusing, overwhelming even. I just encourage you to come back to your mat. Come back to the practice. You're invited to join me here. I'll be posting 2 to 3 videos a week is the goal. As I share with you though, it's real life. There may be weeks that I just can't do that. And that's okay. I encourage you to revisit a video from the previous week. I appreciate your time. You sharing your private time, your self-care time with me. All right. So we're going to center here. As we inhale, bring our palms together. And we'll exhale and bring them to our heart. Thank you so much for taking the time for your self-care and for sharing your space with me. Namaste.